From episodes that just straight up sucked, to episodes Seth MacFarlane will never ever be forgiven for.
You want me as your dog?
Yeah, I think I do.
Family Guy has 446 episodes. Some of them are GOAT tier, some of them are good, and some of them are not. Some of them are even bigger mistakes than Meg, at least according to fans. And today, I'm breaking them all down, starting with forgivable flops and ending with the most diabolical episodes in human history. First up, an episode so boring some fans wished they'd watched paint dry instead. In Brian and Stewie, an argument over a sweater breaks out, which leads to Brian and Stewie getting locked inside a bank vault.
Hello? Somebody! We're trapped in here!
These bank vault doors close automatically.
The bank won't open again until Monday, so Brian and Stewie will have to wait it out the whole weekend. Good news, there's enough oxygen to last. Bad news, it reeks of baby poop.
That smell is making me sick.
I'm not gonna be able to stay like this until tomorrow, you know.
Stewie guilt trips Brian into eating his feces so he can avoid a gnarly diaper rash. And after eating the baby's vomit for dessert, Brian cracks open a bottle of wine. Not sure that washes away the aftertaste, but at least Stewie's surprisingly awesome dance moves can distract him from it a little while.
Yeah, you know how to move. Wow, that is awesome.
Okay, maybe not so awesome, actually. Stewie pierces his ear, Brian confesses to having suicidal thoughts, and that's basically it until the vault opens up at the end of the episode. While some fans appreciated the deeper insight we were given into Brian's mental state,
I keep it in case I ever want to commit that, okay?
Wow. Oh my god, you're serious.
many felt the episode was just painfully boring. No music, no cutaways, really was just Seth MacFarlane talking to himself in the vault for 20 minutes. Up next, a super entertaining episode, but one so gross it can literally be considered an animated atrocity. Yep, it's Herpy the Love Sore. The episode, of course, opens exactly how you'd expect Family Guy to.
Stay still. That's pretty cool, too.
Hey, Dad, that's a cool whip. I thought you couldn't understand me!
Trust me, guys, that mark on Stewie's head is going to be the least of his problems by tomorrow morning. After performing a Blood Brothers ritual with Brian, the baby wakes up to this hideous monstrosity.
What's this? You son of a... You gave me herpes!
Brian refuses to admit he gave Stewie herpes, even when he exposes the sores under the dog's fur. Think Brian's a dirtbag? Well, you're wrong. He's actually a dirtbag times 1,000.
This house is like backstage at a Whitesnake concert.
But I also got it from Brian. We're blood brothers, too. He knew he had herpes and he didn't say anything.
Stewie and Chris team up to get revenge on the family pet for giving them herpes. And what's the best way to do that? Messing with his love life, of course. Plus, it'll save his date from getting herpes as well. Wow, talk about killing two birds with one stone.
Hey, Brian, and who's your date? You must be such a good person to knowingly go out with a herpes-riddled dirtbag.
Sorry, Brian. I've got to go.
Damn it, you guys!
After Stewie changes Brian's Facebook profile to a disgusting close-up of herpes, he finally apologizes and promises to never lie again. Sure, Herpy the Love Sore is considered a mistake purely because of how disgusting it was. Fans hated how cruel Brian was for deliberately spreading a lifelong disease to children, and all those unnecessary close-ups of sores was just way too much gross factor. Alright, I think we've roasted enough Brian and Stewie episodes for now, so let's talk about that time Peter became a Supreme Court justice. In Drunk with Power, the Pawtucket Brewery opens tours to the public, and guess which employee they choose to be the guide? The guy who once blew up the children's hospital across the street, obviously.
Many of you have heard of beer before. If that's pretty good, you can get a little closer, gang. I don't bite. Ow! Too close!
Peter ends up having to take Supreme Court Justice Brett Kavanaugh on a tour, but he's more interested in drinking the beer than learning how it's made. Yep, that seems in character.
I will not be a rotten egg!
Let's see who can get the reddest the fastest. There are a lot of yous.
Why does his voice kind of sound like Barney Gumble, though? Peter bonds with Kavanaugh over beer and gets so drunk he passes out. When he comes to, Brett's gone, and in his place is a note telling him to take his life. No, not that way.
I don't want my life anymore. You take it. This is the first time I've ever put clothes on anyone without their consent.
Justice Kavanaugh? It's him.
Believing Peter must be Brett Kavanaugh as he's clearly an alcoholic, Mr. Griffin gets escorted to the Supreme Court and befriends all of his new colleagues. While his tiny brain deals with a ruling to potentially repeal same-sex marriage, Brett is busy living Peter Griffin's life, which is basically just drinking to the drunken clan with the guys.
We got a party together. Squeeze Mom's beach house?
Party at the shore!
Okay.
Still in!
100% in!
As Supreme Justice, Peter literally has the power to make places more accessible for people like Joe. When does he ever lift a finger at work, though? Only to press buttons and thankfully not to blow up children this time around.
Convenience.
Oh, we're not turning for that.
Tastes like strawberries on a summer evening. I want more berries. One. watermelon sugar.
I mean, I don't think the guy's voice was good enough for all the judges' chairs to spin around. Not that I could do any better myself, though. Brett eventually realizes he loves rules just as much as beer and returns to his job with the intention of getting blackout drunk every day. After almost getting straight in gay marriage banned, Peter releases a statement that keeps same-sex marriage legal before getting booted back to Quahog.
Son of a slip me a Mickey.
So why is Drunk with Power considered a mistake episode? Well, a lot of fans felt the take on the US Supreme Court had way more potential for jokes, but they were severely lacking in that department. I don't think it was terribly bad. Voice thing kind of slaps. But anyway, let's move on to an episode famous for having one of the most unbearable gags in Family Guy history, Con Heiress. When Stewie discovers Brian's been dating a rich old woman just to get money, he confronts the sleazeball for taking advantage of the weak and vulnerable. Kidding. He actually sticks an Amazon Echo on his head and tries getting his own sugar mama.
Well, he may be an admiral, but he's certainly not admirable. Panty drop. Swoon.
Brian and Stewie both want to date the richest heiress in town, some lady called Margaret, whose whole name I won't tell you because it literally took Brian 45 seconds to say it.
Slow Coors, Oviatt, Marlboro, Pembroke, Sinclair, Mellencamp, Starbucks.
Brian and Stewie find out the old bat's married, but as her husband's 95, they stick around hoping the old boy will croak any day now. And if he does, it'll definitely be from autoerotic asphyxiation, right?
Get the hell out of my face, Brian.
What, Quagmire?
No, Quagmire.
That's what I said.
Oh, sorry, I didn't hear you because of the prosthetic.
Hey, just checking to see if the old man is dead. Oh, hey, guys. I've got no chance, have I?
Quagmire explains he married the heiress just to inherit her fortune and agrees to split the dough with Brian and Stewie if they can help speed things along. They go home to think of a plan, however Tom Tucker announces that the old lady is already croaked. Perfect timing.
You guys actually did it. Made it look like a heart attack. I didn't think you had it in you.
I guess you thought wrong.
Quagmire sticks to his word and shares half the estate with Brian and Stewie. Now they're rich beyond their wildest dreams. But man, I wish karma came as hard for real-life scammers as it does for cartoon ones.
Died owing $18 million, for which you are now liable.
Look, Stewie, it could be worse. We could be dead like Margaret.
You're right.
That's a pretty big plot twist. Now here's one even bigger than Peter's butt. The heiress faked her death to get out of debt, and turns out she wasn't even an heiress at all, or even old, for that matter.
Yes, that's right. It was a Meg story.
So if the heiress was Megatron all this time, then technically Meg and Quagmire were married and doing it on the regular without even realizing. That might be more disturbing than the timeline where he married Lois.
A vegetarian. Oh.
While some fans liked all the plot twists in Con Heiress and the disturbing subplot where Herbert mistakes Peter for a kid.
Dad! Yeah, this is my dad. Well, he often said he wanted to explode all over me. Finally did.
A lot of fans did feel the episode was lacking creatively, especially with the multiple gags about the heiress's ridiculously long name. I mean, getting through Brian saying her name the first time was a literal hell, and what do the writers do after that? Add 2 more gags. It's just cruel and unusual punishment at this point.
Brinton von Schumacher, Chanel, de Saint-Exupéry, Mountbatten.
Yeah, we don't have time to listen to all that. Seriously, this gag goes on forever, kind of like Herbert does. You know, since we're already on the subject of rich old people, remember Trump Guy? Probably not. I mean, it's hardly a GOAT episode. Following the events of Hefty Shades of Grey, the Griffins have moved to the White House to support Peter's new career as President Donald Trump's press secretary. And you thought he sucked at his regular job.
Take care of our children.
I can't get an
Contributing to the economy.
I've tried all the herbs.
Amnesty is never the answer.
They said to meditate, but I keep falling asleep.
The law's already on the books.
I'm terrified of being alone with my wife. It's too much pressure.
At a dinner party, Meg meets Ivanka Trump and gets given a well-needed makeover. Now that she's become slightly less unattractive, a guy finally is interested in her. Unfortunately for Meg, this guy is orange and way, way, way too old for her.
I'm a huge fan of your board game and your fraudulent university and... Oh my God!
Every president since Washington has done this.
When Meg tells her loving family about the horrific essay she just endured, they think she's making everything up. That is until they see the fricker attack her with their very own eyes.
Oh my God, Bob's Burgers is on.
Oh my God, President Trump is assaulting Meg. Can't believe what I just saw, Mr. President.
Peter might be a terrible father and general human being, but even he'll draw the line at working for a molester. He quits and vows to be the nice, kind Peter Griffin from now on, but he's such a terrible person anyway. It's a literally detrimental to his health to even try and pay a single compliment to Meg.
Dad?
Of course I do. Your hair is, very hat. You're a hat owner. You're also hatted.
Peter, stop. Your nipples are bleeding.
All right, fine. I'm not a nice person.
The next day, Trump rubs Peter's failure in his face and calls him a failed role model for the youth of America. It's the one correct thing he said in the entire episode, but Peter won't sit back and allow the president to disrespect his show like that. Oh yeah, it's knuckle sandwich time.
President, if he's fighting with Peter Griffin.
After a long and bloody battle, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resolves the conflict, and Peter and Trump go their separate ways, probably to a dentist. Back in Quahog, the Griffins support Peter's new career as a game show contestant. That didn't last long.
It liked to have an...
We were looking for the electromagnetic spectrum.
I was not included in the final round.
Okay, so Trump Guy was a super political episode of Family Guy. It was bound to ruffle some feathers on the opposing side of the political spectrum. However, even some left-wing fans hated how political this episode was. Preach. Like, Trump Guy did just feel like 20 minutes of haha Orange Man. The fight between Peter and Trump was also way too long and nowhere near as iconic as the chicken ones, like any of the chicken ones. Basically, if you want political jokes done well, go watch South Park. You can also watch South Park for the darkest, most messed up storylines imaginable.
Well, you're not gonna stick something yicky in my mouth.
I'm not going to stick anything yicky in your mouth.
Okay.
Okay, here it comes.
No offense, but Family Guy fans tend to be a bit more easily shocked than South Park fans, so it's really no surprise this next episode disturbed and disgusted a lot of viewers. In Stewie is Inciente, Brian keeps blowing Stewie off, and fearing their friendship is drifting apart, he vows to bring the two of them back together in the most diabolical way possible.
Brian and I are going to improve our relationship. We're going to have a baby.
This episode is already getting really weird, but thankfully it didn't reach the point of Stewie graping Brian or something like that. He does steal his fur and do some weird science stuff I'm too dumb to understand, though.
Goodbye, body. Yeah, you watch me.
Stewie is now with a child and shares the happy news with his baby daddy the next day. Well, happy news for him anyway.
Pregnant with our baby? How could this even happen? I took your DNA and inserted it in uterus through my fertilization device.
Oh my God, you're serious!
Believing people will think he raped and somehow impregnated a male baby, Brian demands Stewie abort this abominable pregnancy. He's determined to become a mom, though, so the daddy is forced to try and take matters into his own paws.
Is it dead?
What kind of monster hits a pregnant toddler?
Brian gives up trying to kill Stewie's baby and just lets him get on with the pregnancy. You'd think Lois would be deeply concerned right now, like probably thinking her baby has the most severe case of constipation ever, but let's face it, this deadbeat mom is probably at a Daughtry concert doing drugs or something right about now.
And I've also been experiencing a little... morning sickness. It's for the baby. It's for the baby.
After getting a checkup with Dr. Hartman, Stewie gets an intimate pregnancy photo shoot. The results definitely can't compete with Beyonce's, but there's still something Herbert would pay a lot of money for. I mean, even Rupert is repulsed by Stewie at this point. While the future parents are out buying burgers, Stewie's water suddenly breaks and his husband rushes him to the hospital. The baby's head is already coming, so Brian's forced to pull over and deliver the baby by himself. Sorry, did I say baby? I meant an entire frackin' litter of human-dog hybrids.
Don't get anything on the... God, I think another one's coming! I don't see it. I think it's coming out of my mouth! Holy... What is happening? God, they're crawling all over me. How many are there now? 4, 5, 6, 7?
Stewie's just pushed 7 babies through his I'm not qualified to finish that sentence. Despite experiencing more pain than medieval torture, he makes a surprisingly fast recovery, then gets right to work raising his precious bundles of Brian tags along, willing to give parenthood a second try after blowing it with his son Dylan. Why'd he come out looking totally human though? Meanwhile, Stewie and Brian Jr. is over here.
This one's bones all feel loose.
And I think that one is blind. We'll have to get him little sunglasses. Hey, you! Okay, this one is deaf. We are going to be spending a fortune on schools.
How are we going to pay for that?
After 3 babies die, Stewie and Brian accept they can't cope with their kids and all their birth defects. So what do? Oh, just what any loving, responsible parents would do. They dump them in an animal shelter and run away.
This is for the best.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll be adopted.
Oh, God, yeah.
So, 6 grown adults attended a pregnant baby's baby shower and didn't call the cops. Maybe they thought Stewie was a little person or something. I don't know. A literal baby becoming pregnant with a dog and giving birth to 7 dog-human hybrids might be the weirdest plot in the history of television.
Can you see the head? I don't know where to look, but maybe you should look at the baby coming out. Ah!
Well, what else can you honestly expect from Family Guy? Not even this level of messed up, apparently. Seriously, Stewie is Inciente is considered to be one of Family Guy's most messed up episodes of all time, and a lot of fans found it just way too weird and plain disgusting. Absolutely horrible. I'm with them absolutely all the way. Did you hear me smile once during the recap of this whole episode? No, I don't think you did. Like, this episode may have been more of a mistake than that time Peter accidentally ate out Babs. Moving on to another one of the most controversial episodes of Family Guy, Screams of Silence, the story of Brenda Q. It kicks off exactly how you'd expect a Quagmire episode 2.
He must have autoerotically asphyxiated himself while he was watching clown. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. Come on, help me get him down.
Even experienced erotic asphyxiators have limits, so the guys rush Quagmire to the hospital. So he's in a coma, and since it's looking like he may die, his sister Brenda comes to Quahog to see him.
Glenn, don't die from autoerotic asphyxiation. Live to see tomorrow. October 31st, 2011.
Brenda's disturbing lullaby makes Quagmire conscious again, and she agrees to stay and look after him while he recovers. However, almost dying while jacking it to clown corn was only the start of his problems. See, Brenda's boyfriend Jeff is a real piece of shit.
Please, you're being...
What? Why don't you call the cops like you did on Christmas?
No, I didn't call them.
Oh, now you're calling me a liar in front of this cat?
I got another cat.
The whole neighborhood can't sleep with Jeff battering Brenda black and blue every night, but she won't leave and even justifies her partner's treatment of her.
Jeff's sweet. You don't see how soft and gentle he hits me when we're alone.
Quagmire is more worried than that time he stumbled into a school full of his kids, so he goes to Joe for help. But he's even more useless at protecting citizens than his legs are at walking.
What happens if one of these nights he hits her so hard he kills her?
Police policy, we can't step in until it's too late.
The next day, everyone stages an intervention, and Quagmire begs his sister from the bottom of his heart to break up with Jeff. They hug it out, and he really thought he had gotten through to her, but then she drops this bombshell.
I have wonderful news. Jeff and I are getting married. I'd show you the ring, but it's under the splint. My finger fell down the stairs.
Yeah, but only 'cause she's pregnant.
Pregnant?
Oh, congratulations! Have you thought of any names yet? Maybe Slappy or Bruisey?
Fearing that dirtbag Jeff will eventually beat Brenda and the baby to death, Quagmire decides to take matters into his own syphilis-riddled hands.
We go over there, and we do what's right. We kill a bastard.
Peter loves killing people, so you don't need to ask him twice. And Joe's in on the action too after witnessing Jeff beating Brenda with his own eyes. There's not a moment to lose, so the guys invite Jeff on a midnight hunting trip deep in the woods where nobody can see or hear them. However, before they even have a chance to execute stage 2 of their plan, Peter foils it by opening his stupid mouth.
I thought you hated my guts.
Oh, come on.
I thought we were gonna kill him.
So, Jeff, do you like loud sentences?
I gotta take a whiz.
Jeff's almost as stupid as Peter for not realizing the guys brought him here to kill him, but I think the message has finally landed, don't you?
You know, Quagmire, you are pathetic. You have to bring your friends out here with you to do your dirty work?
What do you mean, Jeff?
You're gonna kill me. Is that it?
Jeff knocks Joe and Peter out, then he takes Quagmire into the woods to shoot him. He convinces him to fight man-to-man instead, but that obviously results in scrawny Glenn getting the frick kicked out of him. Jeff strangles his victim and starts digging a hole, believing the job is done. Little did he know he was dealing with a professional autoerotic asphyxiator. Why do I always expect to hear giggity at the end of that scene? The guys return the next morning and leave a note for Brenda from Jeff saying he ran away. After all this poor woman's been through, couldn't they have at least tried to let her down gently?
You're garbage.
A little rough, Peter.
I didn't write it, Joe did.
I wanted it to sound real.
I best be rolling on now.
Oh, come on, who says that?
It's an expression.
P.P.S. I really love Grape Ape. The end.
Screams of Silence, the story of Brenda Q, was a super dark episode and a bit too dark for some fans. The writer's portrayal of a sensitive topic like domestic abuse was also heavily criticized, with some fans thinking it was totally mishandled or just outright made fun of abuse at times. For example, there was even a scene where Jeff physically beating Brenda was used for laughs.
Did you change the channel while I was going to get a beer?
I'm sorry, honey. I just wanted to see who was on Letterman.
We're watching Leno, you bitch! His soft, gentle humor connects effortlessly with my mainstream sensibilities!
I don't know about you guys. Do you think this episode was too dark and controversial? In my opinion, there are definitely way darker episodes. Not to excuse this one, but there have been worse. I mean, what about Halloween on Spooner Street? In just 20 minutes, Meg and Chris had sex, Joe raped Quagmire, and Stewie slaughtered dozens of trick-or-treaters. Now let's move on to one so bad it basically belongs in Stewie's diaper. In Be Careful What You Fish For, Peter hears about a cargo of brand new Mercedes cars sinking. And while I'm sure he had a tax return to file or some other adult responsibility to attend to, he immediately rushes to the coast of Quahog.
Can't wait to get a Mercedes.
Me either.
That's gonna be sweet.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! What the hell is that?
I'm protecting my face and neck from the sun.
So Glenn cares about preventing skin cancer, but still hasn't been to the doctor to discuss having literally every STD in existence. Who else but Quagmire? Peter throws Quagmire's embarrassing hat into the ocean, then ends up catching a dolphin named Billy Finn, voiced by Ricky Gervais.
Sorry, did I get in the way of something?
We were just trying to get some of them sunken Mercedes.
There's a great big pile of them down there. Me and my mates, right, having a laugh, sitting in one of them, pretending to be people, driving around, getting into incidents with other motorists. Honk, honk.
Okay, I'm already starting to see why fans think this episode was a mistake. Billy Finn hasn't even been on screen for a full frackin' minute, and I'm already wishing for him to get harpooned. The annoying dolphin brings back a Mercedes hood ornament for Peter, so he offers him a favor in return. Just like Ariel, the sea creature wants to see what things are really like up on dry land and crashes at the griffins, much to Lois's annoyance.
Breakfast is ready.
Oh.
Is everything all right?
Yeah, and would you mind tossing it up in the air for me?
Lois wants the dolphin out of the house and back into the ocean, and so does Peter after he gets fat and shamed by the very rude guest. The next day, Peter tries to ask Billy to leave, but gets manipulated into letting him stay when he promises to get him a second hood ornament. After almost getting harpooned by Trisha Takanawa, Billy drinks with the guys of the Drunken Clam. And just have a look at how that's going.
I don't see why it's funny.
Hey, what the hell?
Peter finds out Billy's ex-wife is the reason why he doesn't want to return to the ocean, and after literally killing two birds with one stone, he patches things up between the pair.
So sorry. I had to live on the land to learn there might be a million fish in the sea, but there's only one you.
Oh, look at that.
So how is Joe ever going to get back to the surface? Ah, of course.
Oh. Yeah, it's me as Neptune.
Why am I thinking of Mr. Nimbus right now? He controls the police, so I guess he'd have to bang Joe while Bonnie watches, right? I don't know, man. So Be Careful What You Fish For is hated by fans, mainly because Billy Finn is one of the most annoying characters to ever appear in the show. The subplot about Stewie's abusive daycare teacher wasn't that much better either. Fans really hated how much of a horny douche Brian acted here. Choosing to date the teacher instead of getting her arrested innocent toddlers was just despicable. But what can you really expect from this dude?
When my arm came out of its socket.
Are you sure you didn't just sleep on it?
Mom! You are not going anywhere. I finally have a date with Miss Emily tomorrow, and I'm not going to let you or anybody else get in my way. And what am I supposed to do about my arm?
I'll just pop it back in.
I need to go to a hospital!
On the whole, this episode was just insufferable and frankly deserved to be drowned at sea instead of making it to air. Still giving Trisha major credit though. Like at least she tried to save the episode midway through.
I'm standing here hoping to kill that dolphin with this harpoon.
Japan, they kill things that we like.
Remember Fox's Night of the Hurricane? The crossover special where a hurricane affects all three of Seth MacFarlane's shows? In Seahorse Seashell Party, it's time to see how the Griffins are coping in this emergency. Spoiler alert, they aren't. I mean, it hasn't even been 15 minutes since the TV went down, and Brian's already turned to drugs and Van Gogh'd himself.
I'm gonna cut my ear off to prevent World War II. Ah! Ah! Oh God! Oh God!
While Brian continues tripping out on shrooms with Stewie watching over him, what are the other Griffins doing right about now? Well, they're downstairs doing what they always do, hurricane or not, insulting Meg at every turn. However, this time she fights back for the very first time ever. It's about dang time.
No! You shut up, Chris! You guys all think you're so much better than me!
That is the least fancy thing I have ever heard.
Meg continues ripping into Chris, calling him out for always being a frackin' bastard to her for no reason. Lois tries to shut her up, but now it's her turn to get roasted to tears.
And you took a a child's trust and smashed it into bits when I turn 18. I don't know that I ever want to see you again.
Lois finally admits that she's a terrible mother and asks Meg for forgiveness, but she doesn't have time for that. Not when she's delivering the most brutal takedown ever to Mr. Selfish Dad.
A abusive, blue-collar Irish Catholic dad and barely makes enough money to support his family. You're a total and complete embarrassment in every possible way. You're a waste of a man.
These are criticisms. Hey, Lois, tell her to knock it off.
Dang, and I thought Peter got roasted hard in Brian's drug trip. The whole family begins venting their frustrations out on each other, and a huge argument erupts over yogurt. Peter, of course, handles the conflict like a 7-year-old whose parents won't buy him Robux.
I didn't ask to be in this family.
Chris yells at Meg and says he faked all of it. What? Then he runs away before providing any more context. Not like we wanted it anyway. Brian tells Meg she's cool for finally standing up to everybody, but she's already having regrets, isn't she?
You saw what happened.
What do you mean?
They all turned on each other like a pack of wolves.
Well, so what? That's not your problem.
Realizing that she's the glue that holds her dysfunctional family together, and not even in a good way, but in a punching bag where they can vent out all their frustrations way, Meg apologizes for everything she said and admits that she was in the wrong the entire time.
None of you have done anything wrong. I took all my problems out on you.
Oh, so this was all about you. It wasn't about us.
How could you put us all through that?
You're a
Meg finally getting the courage to stick up for herself only to backtrack and allow her family to think that they aren't the bad guys here was super disappointing for many fans, myself included. Like the one chance Meg gets to stop the family calling her ugly, blaming her for everything, and farting right in her face. And she just totally blows it, pun intended. Meg letting the family step all over her again wasn't the only reason Seahorse Seashell Party is considered a mistake, though. On the whole, fans just thought the storyline was bland compared to American Dad and the Cleveland show, and I mean, I totally get it. Like, it was just the family arguing and Brian doing drugs. Hell, even his crazy trip wasn't as insane as the chaos happening at the Smiths.
I'll harpoon the bear, and we can escape. Dan!
Okay, maybe it was more wild, actually.
Wanna have sex?
Still, Seahorse Seashell Party was a major letdown for fans, and I think a lot of us would have loved to see where Meg's character could have gone if she would have stood her ground. Next up, Life of Brian. It's one of the most memorable episodes out of the entire 23 seasons of Family Guy, and not for a good reason. Get a box of tissues, guys, this one's gonna be tragic. After time traveling to Jamestown and screwing up the future by giving Native Americans guns, Stewie and Brian undo their mistake, then the baby destroys his time machine to make sure they'll never alter the past ever again.
Can't believe you just destroy it. Trust me, Brian, it's for the best.
With no more time travel adventures, Stewie and Brian decide to dabble in more normal hobbies like street hockey. A baby and a dog playing out in the street anywhere is dangerous, and as these guys live in a town infamous for people being totally fracking terrible drivers, yeah, at least one of them was bound to get turned into roadkill. It was just a shame that it was Brian. Like, Stewie's massive head probably could have just bounced off the car.
I'll be right back. Brian, look out! No, Brian!
Oh my God! Brian, can you hear me?
What the hell happened?
The scene cuts to the vet's office, and Brian's in a really bad shape. There's nothing that can be done. Now it's time for the Griffins to say their final goodbyes to their family dog.
You've given me a wonderful life. I love you all. I'm sorry. He's gone.
Mind you, this is the wonderful life Brian's family gave him.
Where's my money?
Stewie vows to rebuild the time machine and save Brian, but he can't find a titanium capacitator anywhere. Looks like he's really gone for good, and ignoring the presence of Quagmire, the doggo gets a beautiful emotional send-off. A month passes by, and moving on from Brian should be the last thing on everybody's minds right now, but oh no.
Only way to stop missing Brian is to get a new dog.
Okay, don't you frickin' dare, Lois. For moving on this soon? There's no way you could possibly move on this. She's already done it, hasn't she?
Welcome to our home.
This is good.
What can I make you for dinner?
Are you kidding? So tonight, I'm gonna make you dinner.
Well, thank you, Vinny.
The Griffins love their new dog, Vinny, so much, they completely move on from that other dog they had. What was his name again? Oh, yeah, Bryce? Hell, Stewie even lets this new dog sleep in his room with him.
Good night, Vinny.
Good night, Stewie.
The betrayal, man, it physically hurts. Brace yourselves, guys, because it gets even more horrible from here. This pile of called Vinny even replaces our man Brian in the opening credits of the frackin' show.
Which we used to rely on. There's a family guy.
Brian did eventually return in the episode Christmas Guy after Stewie stole his past self's time pad to stop the accident from ever happening.
What the hell's going on here?
That car killed you. And when it did, a little part of me died as well. I couldn't live without you. So I came back from the future to save your life.
So the writers may have rectified their mistake, but it still don't make life of Brian any less awful. I'm definitely not alone when I say this either. Brian's death was universally hated by fans for killing off a major character for no reason, no less. Well, maybe Quagmire fans loved it, but seriously, if you're team this guy...
How old are you?
16.
18.
Mom!
I like where this is going. Giggity, giggity.
Like, just go and take a long, hard look at yourself in the mirror. I mean, you could say that about Brian fans, too. Look, that's a whole different video for another time. Anyway, point is, fans are not going to forgive Seth MacFarlane for that one. Now, if you thought no episode could possibly be a bigger mistake than Life of Brian, you're dead wrong. You Can't Handle the Booth is literally the lowest-rated Family Guy episode of all time. In this episode, the stars of Family Guy break the fourth wall by providing a DVD commentary of their latest episode.
Ah, the writer credits have begun. I'm gonna give personal facts about each of the names that pops up. Smokes on the no-smoking balcony, weird church guy, Instagram's cowboy hats at 3 a.m., pushed his wife at a party.
While the real Griffins receive their paychecks, the on-screen Griffins get new smartphones and become so distracted they completely miss Jesus trying to kill everybody at church.
Sorry to interrupt. Danny, the intern is here with your paychecks.
Thanks, Danny.
Chris, here's your paycheck. That gets forwarded right to DraftKings.
Hold on, Danny. It looks like you accidentally gave me Peter's check. What the hell? This number is 4 times what I make.
Lois calls Disney payroll to complain about being underpaid, but gets told Peter makes more simply because he needs to pay alimony to his ex-wife Sarah Paulson. Yes, the lady from American Horror Story actually agreed to marry that.
I'm Sarah.
I understand you and Peter used to be married.
Feels like ancient history.
I like your shoulder blades, Miss Paulson. They're very juddy.
Have a seat, Sarah. Shall I explain what we're doing here?
That's okay. Just like when I would do ADR, for which I received 5 Emmy nominations.
Some of us have awards, some of us have children.
While Lois continues arguing with Sarah Paulson, her on-screen version decides to take the family to a colonial village and show them what life was like before technology. Peter fakes being sick so he can stay home, but gets karma when he drops a meatball down the stairs.
Peter, may I speak with you outside?
Oh, boy. Uh-oh. I think I'm stuck.
This is where the fat man got stuck in the banister slats.
The family returns from the colonial village and reprimands Peter for pretending to be ill, but they somehow end up getting their heads stuck in the stairs too. Stewie's must have gotten in sideways or something.
Suddenly the family is stuck in the banister slats. Baluster. Brian, seriously, f*** off.
Don't worry, guys. I can get us out of here. I'm good at figuring things out, like when I figured out the secret of business. Pointing at stuff during meeting.
There's something you don't know. Chris might not even be your son.
What?
I once slept with Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Sarah Paulson, bragging about all her acting awards, pushes Lois over the edge, and she storms out of the booth saying she deserves better than her dishonest, disrespectful fricker of a husband.
This marriage is over. Enjoy spending the rest of your life alone.
Lois has quit Family Guy, and her on-screen version ain't doing much better either. Like, a delivery guy has basically decided to rob the house and host a party for every burglar in town. Peter tries to go after Lois and make her come back, but she's interrupted by Seth MacFarlane, who tells them they're all just cartoon characters who don't even exist.
If I'm not real, then why does a fat nerd pretend to be me at every Comic-Con?
Please don't mention him, it'll only encourage it.
Then why do you sound like my dog?
Because I'm also the voice of your dog, Brian. You do my voice too? Yeah, I do your voice.
Now the secret's out that nobody in Family Guy really exists, so Lois returns and patches things up with Peter, because that makes sense. Meanwhile, the Griffins on screen call Quagmire and the guys to rescue them. However, they discover that the staircase they're stuck in is actually a priceless antique. Gotta put that coin before helping friends, right?
Wiped out by the German aphid. Was like a decade-long case of the Monday.
Well, I'm guessing you folks are from out of town, too.
I never got that joke.
The episode ends with on-screen Lois saying that she's glad the family learned a valuable lesson about not letting technology rule their lives. And now I need to lie down because that episode might be the hardest thing I've ever had to narrate, at least for Family Guy. Plenty of fans thought You Can't Handle the Booth was a badly written and just a downright confusing episode, and I'm with them. Like, there was Sarah Paulson, evil Jesus, colonial towns, robbers, and then the voice actors literally talking to themselves. Yeah, Meg was super pissed to find out she's voiced by Mila Kunis.
Why is the girl who voices me super hot and I'm not? You know, believe it or not, I've actually had 2 kids.
I would just like you to know that I have no problem with you breastfeeding in this booth. May I ask if you're still producing?
No.
All in all, this episode was just 20 minutes of pure weirdness and chaos. Like, you can't tell me the idea didn't come up from some crazy dream one of the writers had, or even just an absolutely wild drug trip. Anyway, which episode do you guys think was the biggest mistake? Is there an episode you think deserved to be in this video? Let me know, guys, and don't forget to click the screen to watch even more insane videos like this one, and as always, thank you for watching.